What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a complete market breakdown of training of all of our team leader investments. I'm going to try to be as transparent as possible with what I am doing, what is my mindset behind every card, sell, hold, buy, whatever it is. So let's not waste any time. Let's hop into the video. And again, I'll be streaming about 30 to 45 minutes after this video goes live, about 6:30 p.m. West Coast, 6:45, somewhere around there, to answer some questions and kind of just, work the market a little bit. Training market, the training really was probably the biggest W. It was the biggest thing. I regret not buying enough. I think I put 9 to 10 mil in the training. I should have put another 9 to 10 mil because it was easily the biggest riser. It just has the most demand because, well, there's so many now uses of training. Like, you got to power up players. You got to team of the year rerolls. We got now veteran rules tomorrow. There's just so much demand for training. We knew this was going to happen. I just didn't think it would happen this drastically, this fast. I still think training kind of slowly rises because we still have an LTD this weekend in rerolls, playoff rerolls. I think it just kind of slowly rises. It's not really a buy opportunity. It's not like a buy and then sell in a week opportunity, but it's just going to slowly trickle up because the demand is just going to stay there. We had an LTD, Deebo Samuel, in rolls for 3 days, and then we got a playoff LTD. So the demand is going to stay there for training. You can lazy sell 92s at about 72, 73,000 that we were buying for 40,000 coins 2 days ago. 90s, which you could have bought for 20,000, lazy selling for 45,000. All 96 overall team of the year guys, you can lazy sell at least 250,000 coins. The training market is up, which is overall much better for the market. In terms of what rerolls actually are expiring, Campus Hero 2s are expiring in 15 hours, or basically Wednesday morning. So if you want to I don't really think there's an opportunity there. It's kind of bad for the 85 and the Team Builder 2 kind of method because 85s, those were the Campus Hero 2. That was the easiest way to get 85 overalls. Hopefully, maybe we get a training reroll of some other sort. I don't know, because we don't really have a promo dropping until Super Bowl. So it's a little bit unfortunate. In terms of my binder, I have a little bit of training left. I've actually been majority of, and it was more this morning. I was quick selling my training and just re-rolling the team of the years, because the team of the year guys were still going for pretty much way above training. Like JJ was going for 300,000, Cordero's 290. A lot of the meta team of the year guys were still going for like 290, 300k, where the roll was costing me, I would say, if I were to sell the cards in the market, it would say it would be like 230, 240,000. So if I pulled like a good team of the year, and I had some decent odds when it came to team of the year rerolls, I was saving a little bit of coins instead of just buying them straight on the market. But anyways, training, lazy selling. If you have training, which I'm going to do with the majority of mine left, I'm just going to be lazy selling it over the next few days. But now hopping into what we are all waiting for, the team of the year investments, what I'm doing with every card. So Justin Herbert, he has kind of been up and down. He went up to about 170k. I know PlayStation, he's been a little bit more expensive. Xbox, but about 170. I've sold a majority of mine at 165, but I'm content with selling at 150k. He's not a meta game-changing quarterback. His Redux is not going to go up to 200,000, but it has a chance to trickle down about to the 135s, 140. Like I said, I'm content with 150. Moving on to Cordero Patterson, I have sold all mine. You can see kind of with Cordero, there is not a lot up because his demand is absolutely insane. He gets bought very quickly for the veteran. I sold both. I think I sold majority of mine for 125 to 129. That's what I would list mine for if you're on the Xbox market. You kind of see this picture, 108, 117, 117, but they've all been listed in the last 10 minutes. They sell very, very frequently. Even though there are other running backs that I think are just as good as Cordero, he has the most demand, the most popularity when it comes to theme teams and all that sort of things. Kyle Juszczyk, this is a very, I would say, patient sell because he's a fullback. You can tell there are not a lot. There's 10 up. Kyle Juszczyk is one of those players where he's at actually 20,000 coins right now. At the time of recording, he was 14. He's going to go from 20 to 10, 20 to 10 to 25 to 8. Be very patient with Kyle Juszczyk. Random times throughout the day, there are not going to be any up, and you could sell yours for 20,000 coins. Be super, super patient with a player like Kyle Juszczyk. Justin Jefferson, probably the most popular, most in-demand baby piece is the rising star Justin Jefferson. They get bought, I'm not joking, 5 times a minute. I'll show you right here in the auction. You can see 4 in the last minute, less than 30 seconds, have sold. I've been selling all mine for about 105,000. You can't really go over that because he is in a rising star reroll. But 105k, I would at least get 100k for every Justin Jefferson. But 105 is kind of my target price to get JJ. Being really patient with him because he just sells very, very fast. Now Deebo Samuel, and this is one I am very strong about. He's still, which is shocking, he's about 55,000 coins. And if someone were to tell me Deebo Samuel's LTD day 1 was going for 600k, I would tell you the team of the week 88 would probably go back down to 35, 40k. And it's held its price pretty good, about 50 to 60k on both markets. You can see Deebo Samuel 650k for the LTD. And I'll tell you, this Deebo Samuel is not that hard to pull. The demand for him is just insane. He gets bought very, very, very frequently, and he's in rerolls for 72 hours. Over the next 2 days, I expect this price to trickle down, and I expect the team of the week 88 Deebo to trickle up to around the 65, I'd say 70 80K range. So Debo LTD price go down, Debo team of the week 88 price go up. That's pretty much why I'm being very, very conservative with my Debos. I really think the demand for him is just crazy right now, and that LTD will soar up. The first day demand for an LTD is just absurd usually for any LTD. I think Debo probably settles around the low 500s, maybe in the high 400s. I didn't think the demand for him would be that much, but hey, it is what it is. Jaylen Waddle, and this is another card I'm strong on. You can tell there's not a lot of Jaylen Waddle on the market. His demand is pretty good. His card is pretty good. I was holding him. He's been the most patient card all day. I'm waiting to get 70K. He just hit 70K. That's actually mine listed right there. But I wouldn't be shocked for Waddle if he goes up to 80, 85K, because he doesn't have a lot on the block. Like, we're going to get the Patrick Surtain Rising Star, but Waddle, I think, has actually some more... He has a ceiling kind of 85. He can get up to 85K, basically. So, what do you call it? Potential. His potential to get 85K. Now, Darren Waller, this was probably the worst post-release investment we did. Now pre-reveal investment, right, when we were picking up for 75, 85K. That's still all great, but we kind of we got a little greedy as a community. I did, a couple other people did. We thought that buying him at like 135, 140 was good. We had saw what Travis Kelce has done when he went to 300K when he got a card. And Darren Waller is basically the Aaron Donald of the Xbox market in terms of team of the year. He has just, you can tell by the bar on the right, 120 up of him at all times. He kind of hovers between 120, 130. There's a chance he could go up to 135, 140. The problem is the quantity. I just don't think the demand is there for Darren Waller. The thing is, the demand is there. The problem with Darren Waller, the quantity. It's just way too much. I'm kind of just taking the losses on the post reveal kind of investment and just selling for like 125. Still making profit on him because we were buying at 75, 80K. But that's kind of what I'm doing with Darren Waller. Ali Marpet now. Now, the linemen are a little bit like Kyle Kushik, where there's not a lot up, and you can be very patient at odd times during the day and odd times at night. You can probably get Ali Marpet sold for like 10,000 coins. He basically goes between like 6 and 8K. There's not a lot. The demand for him isn't crazy. Left guard, more of a saturated position. But Ali Marpet, be very, very patient with him. Okay, you could probably get 10K over the next few days. He's not a guy that's going to tank down in price. He's not going to get flooded on the market. He wasn't over-invested in. Be very patient with Ali Marpet. And the same thing with Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce, actually, for an 86 overall, is almost lazy sell price at 9K. So you can be very, very patient with Jason Kelce. I think at one point he'll get back to that 14, 15K, but he's been one of those cards that has kind of fallen post-release, and it's just because he's a center. We kind of should have seen this a little bit better, but he just doesn't have the demand that other linemen have. He doesn't have great theme teams. It's only Eagles. Jason Kelce, not the best post-reveal investment, but I still think you can get like 14, 15K at some point, like over the weekend, over this week for Jason Kelce. Now moving on to Zach Martin. I'm not really strong. I'm pretty strong on this is what I'm trying to say. His quantity for Zach Martin is quite a lot. He was definitely heavily invested in. His demand is there, but for 25K, I like selling for 24.8. I know he was like 20,000 coins yesterday, so he actually has a post-release rise, but the quantity is kind of flooding onto the market, so it's kind of like, I'm shocked this card really isn't like 17, 18K with the amount of quantity on the market. So I'm fine with selling for 24,000. If you bought Zach Martin over the past week, it was probably for under 15,000. You're making 8 to 9K per card. I'm satisfied with that for Zach Martin, a right guard. Cowboys theme team has kind of fallen off. Trevon Diggs really screwed over, I think, the Cowboys theme team because he didn't get the best stats and it kind of just messed around with all the other Cowboys theme team players. Trent Brown, now this is one of the cards that actually risen post-release. He's gone for about 12, 13,000 last night, up to 18, 19K, and I can tell you he sells very, very fast. You can be very, not patient with Trent Brown, but you can listen for like 1,000, 2,000 above the lowest, and he'll sell like after 20 minutes. I usually been listening for 19,000, 18.5. He sells very fast. He's Niners, Raiders, two of the best theme teams in the game right now. Even Patriots is one of the best theme teams. 18-ish, just mean this 18.3. He sells pretty fast. I had a lot of Trent Browns, and they have been selling very, very fast on the market. Now, Myles Garrett, I've changed my opinion a couple times on Myles Garrett. So, originally, the 96 overall Myles Garrett just isn't that good. Like, the stat-wise, he's not fast. He's not that meta defensive end that he normally is, and it's affected his price. His core elite has kind of stayed at 15,000 coins, and we thought it would kind of go up to 20, 25K. And the issue with Myles Garrett, the demand is just, it's simply not there. The supply for him is great. There's not a lot of supply for the core elite. There's not a lot of supply for the Redux card. However, the demand, if I actually show you, I'll show you the sales after we go through the prices. The sales for Myles Garrett, he gets bought, especially the Redux card, like once every 5 minutes. The demand is just not there. So I'm all aboard just selling for 140, selling for 15K for the core elite. I don't think, the thing saving Myles Garrett is the quantity and the amount that are just up on the block, but you can just see like 2, 5, 10, 20. I think it is 20. He doesn't sell very fast, so I know I bought like a few at 150. But if you're buying for 100K, 90K over the week, you're making really solid profit on Myles Garrett. I would be willing to sell at 140. The demand is just not there. If only Waller had the amount that Myles Garrett had, and Myles Garrett had the demand that Darren Waller had. I wish I could flip those two. It'd be perfect for those two cards. A little bit unfortunate, but it's whatever. Robert Quinn. Now, Robert Quinn, I think I had the most Robert Quinns in my binder. I want to say I had 35 to 40, and I've sold about half of them at above 55K, like 55 and mostly for 59K. He just recently has kind of come down to 50K. Be very, very patient with Robert Quinn. He's not in rerolls. He is Cowboys theme team. He fluctuates up and down. Like every hour, he goes from 50K to 55 to 60, back down to 50. Be patient with Robert Quinn. His demand is actually pretty decent. You should be able to sell him for at least 55,000 coins, making a solid profit if you picked up for under 40, or most of us, we picked him up for under 33, under 32,000. Trevon Diggs, this is the one where the stats hurt this investment. If this man has 95 speed, I truly believe this card is 100,000 coins plus. The team of the week is what I'm talking about. But he has 94 speed, and that's just not, it doesn't contend with Patrick Surtain, doesn't contend with Marshawn Lattimore. He's not that best corner in the game. He's only now good kind of on Cowboys theme team, in my opinion, and it really affected his price. He's like 85K, and I'm sort of content with that. I can't really get much more. The demand for him isn't crazy. Now, moving on to Patrick Surtain, this has been one of the better post-reveal releases because his card is amazing, let's be honest. The team of the week is going for about 185. It really fluctuates between 180 and 200K. I've sold a couple for 199, a couple for 185, a couple for 190. Patrick Surtain, anything above 185, really anything above 180 is very, very solid for his team of the week, which we were buying for under like 140, mostly under 125. Patrick Surtain, rising star, at least on the Xbox market, has absolutely skyrocketed in price. I actually prematurely sold mine about 105 to 107K, but I only had about 8 or 9. He's currently 140K at the time of this recording. I don't know if this is going to change when you guys are watching this, but if you're on Xbox market, sell Patrick Surtain. I don't think he stays this price. People start using power-up passes on him. Pretty much anything above 100K for that 90 Patrick Surtain is very, very good. Denzel Ward now. Originally, this investment was amazing, right? 4K up to 20K, but he was 25K last night. I'm like, I think he'd get to 40, but then I don't know, knocked some sense into me. I'm like, he's only an 83. He can't go too much, but the demand for him is actually very, very good. You can easily get over 20,000 coins for Denzel Ward. That's what I've sold all mine for. I think I've sold a couple for 24. At one point, he got to 30K, but then he got flooded for 20,000. It kind of just killed any ceiling or any potential when it comes to Denzel Ward. And then Fred Warner, unfortunately, I had sold mine. I had actually sold mine at 20,000 coins. He's up to 35K just because no one invested in him. No one actually probably thought he was actually going to win the Team of the Year vote, but he's 35,000 coins, which is very, very good. You could have picked him up for 10 to 15K over the past week, making an absolute ton. But I think that's it. All the players, about the 13, 15, 14-minute video. Not too bad. Went over, covered all the team of the investments. Pretty much every investment, at least post-reveal, except for Trevon Diggs, has been pretty damn good. Now, post-release, the only cards that kind of just took an L, took a shit, is Darren Waller. I guess you could say Trevon Diggs kind of stayed Trevon Diggs, Darren Waller, and a little bit Myles Garrett. But other than that, I mean, training, if you didn't make coins investing in this, you just basically bought at the right time. If you bought last week, and if you bought even during this week, you were sitting very, very pretty when it comes to team of the year investments. I made a ton. Hopefully, I was able to help you guys make some coins so you get players that you want on your team. But that's going to be all for this video. Remember, I'm going to be streaming about 30-45 minutes after this. I just got to eat dinner, Taco Tuesday, and I'll be hopping on. Comment if you have any questions, of course. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. Link to Discord, as always, is in the description. And until a little bit, see ya.